as it is, the best service on the radio for the Sky Blues. That stays exactly as it is, and that's the way Saturdays will look for you on BBC Coventry and Warwickshire from the start of April. Tomorrow morning, between 7 and 9, Stuart Linnell will be looking back on the Pope's last week as the head of the Catholic Church. Plus, he meets the people behind St Catherine's Community Choir in Stoke Aldermore. Stuart Linnell with you 7 through until 9. Breakfast on BBC Coventry and Warwickshire. Weather-wise, the rest of the day, some bright or sunny spells at first. Sun is indeed shining over Priory Place in Coventry city centre right now. It's going to be beautiful around Nuneaton, I'm told, today. Then we will get a bit of cloud thickening up through the afternoon. Remaining dry, though. Temperatures at 9 degrees Celsius. Spring sunshine, yay! And then tonight, a largely cloudy night, but staying dry. There should be some clearer spells at times. Touch of frost is possible, with temperatures down to 0 overnight. And tomorrow, cloudy day, little brightness is possible, more likely towards the south of the county. A dry day and light winds and top temperatures of 8 degrees.
Lorna Bailey. BBC Coventry and Warwickshire.
So then every week we meet extraordinary people who do extraordinary things for charities, families and indeed the communities around them. They're our unsung heroes. The people who go the extra mile but don't get the recognition they necessarily deserve. Well, they do here. This week we're going to tell you the incredible story of Stuart Lee. Well, actually, he's here and he's going to do that himself because he's more than capable, and that's why we've got him in. Hello, Stuart.
Hello.
How are you?
Not too bad, thank you.
OK, so Stuart, I did something I thought was quite crazy last night. Signed up to do the Two Castles 10k run in 14 weeks' time. I can just about run a mile now.
You'll be fine.
What are you doing?
3 marathons in 3 days.
OK, shut up, Lorna. 3 marathons in 3 days. So this is, you know, if you're going to do 3 marathons in 3 days, Stuart, this is 3 dead easy flat routes in Norfolk somewhere, I'm imagining.
No, the Jurassic coastal path in Devon and Dorset.
OK. I mean, it is going to be a beautiful setting.
It's going to be amazing.
But it's like, it's not just 3 marathons, it's 3 cross-country marathons.
Yes, cliff faces, beaches, not a lot of tarmac,
No.
a lot of coastal path.
So I said to you, OK, so what have you done? Planned your route, been out and measured it? But no, this is an organised event.
It is, yes.
There are more people like you out there that do crazy things.
Yes, another 249 of them.
Oh, my goodness me. So 250 people who are going to be running 3 marathons in 3 days. That's 78.6 miles along the Jurassic coastal path in Devon and Dorset. All of them, I'm assuming, doing it for charity, and I want to find out your cause.
Yes. Yeah. My cause, the Brain and Spine Foundation.
The Brain and Spine Foundation. So you have an amazing story, Stuart.
Yeah, I was diagnosed with hydrocephalus, or fluid on the brain, when I was 6 months old. And I've had 17 lots of brain surgery, meningitis. I had a golf ball-sized brain tumour removed when I was 6 years old. And I live and run now with a brain cyst, which is the size of a tennis ball.
Right. So when people hear fluid on the brain, what's the reality of that for you? What does that mean?
For me, as a child growing up, it was more about getting huge headaches and not really understanding why, you know. As I've grown, I've sort of understood my condition a lot more. What happens is, in my case, the brain cyst blocks the ventricles that drain the natural cerebral fluid from the brain. So I have to have an artificial tube, which is known as a shunt, which sort of acts as a bypass.
Yeah.
Different people have different reasons for getting hydrocephalus, but obviously mine's caused through that.
Right, OK. So how do you manage because I'm assuming you still must suffer symptoms of this. There still must be symptoms
I can't sleep on my back.
Right.
If I sleep on my back, I get a fluid build-up at the back of the head, and it's got nowhere to go. So I have to sleep on my front or sometimes my side, so that the shunt can actually drain the fluid.
And has running helped?
Running was a big part of my life in my early childhood. It's certainly in my teenage years. I obviously because of this condition, I wasn't allowed to play any contact sports at school. So anything with a knock on head. So rugby, football, even cricket, softball, hockey, anything like that. So running sort of became part of my life. I found I got quite good at it. Did athletics and that at school, and then had more surgery when I was 15 years old, and then found that I got huge headaches as a result. Stopped running, went to university, didn't really think too much about it. Joined a new gym in 2005. They had a running club there. Went to the running club, thought, well, if I get a headache, I'll go home, lie down, and you know that'll be that. Didn't get one. Didn't get one the next week. Didn't get one the next week.
Excellent.
Signed up for the Great North Run. Went and ran that. Then signed up for the London Marathon, went and ran that, and I've done that 3 times. And then I went to New York to run in the New York Marathon. And that one had always been the dream. When I was 12 years old, I had meningitis. I was nearly not here. I weighed about 3.5 stone. And the New York Marathon was on the TV. And as a child of 12 years old, I was sort of, I'm going to go and run that.
I'm going to do that one day.
Yeah, and 20 years later I did.
You did it. Oh, well done you, Stuart. What was the feeling like when you crossed the finishing line then?
Very emotional. Very emotional. It's a fantastic event. I mean, they have 2.5 million New Yorkers out on the street supporting the runners. Because I've been and watched London, and I think London is incredible. Watching the London Marathon is just amazing, and the atmosphere there seems to be pretty special. London's fantastic, but the difference that I found was that with London, there's other things going on in London that day. The marathon is not the be-all and end-all. In New York, they're talking about it for 2 weeks before the race. There are posters everywhere. Everything is based on the marathon coming up, and then come the weekend, everything is about the marathon.
Not this year, though, obviously, because it ended up getting cancelled.
It ended up getting cancelled, unfortunately.
So, what's your best marathon time then?
I've ran 3:45 in New York.
That's very impressive. Yes. That's very impressive.
Yeah, I'm not going to be anywhere near that on these.
I think you might have a good reason not to be, because it appears to me as though you're going to be running on a coastal path and along beaches. I don't think you'll be setting PBs. You're going to be looking to complete.
Not. Yes.
So how do you train then for 3 marathons in 3 days on such difficult terrain?
Well, mostly off-road. So I've been doing a lot of running, Abbey Fields in Kenilworth, and around that sort of area, up onto the Greenway and that sort of area. Just trying to get the muscles really used to running off road. Tends to be that your bones tend to suffer when you're on the road, but your muscles suffer a lot more when you're off it. So yeah, a lot of hill running as well. Obviously to get used to going up and down. And
in order to make sure that after you've done a marathon, you can then do another one the next day and another one the day after that.
Yes, I've been running 3 consecutive days on the trot. So my weeks consisted of running on a Saturday, Sunday and a Monday. I've run on a Monday over at my running club, Spa Striders, which are based in Leamington. And they've been a fantastic support as well, as has a gentleman called Darren Checkley, who runs Achieve Coventry. They're actually doing, he runs some boot camps, but they're actually doing a pound-for-pound challenge in March for the Brain and Spine Foundation.
Oh, fantastic. So
every pound that is lost in weight between the combined members of the group is going to be £1 to the charity. So that's been fantastic.
I want to find out how people can sort of help you out, and if they wish to sponsor you, do all of that. I'm just going to get the latest on the roads first.
Okay.
We are chatting to Stuart Lee, who is running 3 marathons in 3 days for the Brain and Spine Foundation, because he has had 17 brain operations. He's had meningitis, he has hydrocephalus, he has had a golf ball sized brain tumour removed, and he now has a tennis ball sized brain cyst, which is now the size of a tennis ball there, and he's going to be running 3 marathons in 3 days for the Brain and Spine Foundation. It's one heck of a story, Stuart, that's for sure. And we were listening about how you as a 12-year-old recovering from surgery, watched the New York Marathon and thought, that's for me, I want to do that. 20 years later, you achieved it. So how on earth did you find out about this 3 marathons in 3 days?
It was one that I actually wanted to do. I was looking for an endurance event, and I've got more into the off-road running, but I just found that one, and I'm very much a person who sort of says yes and then thinks about it later. So I thought, well, you know, it's one to go and have a go at. As you say, the scenery is going to be absolutely amazing, so that will keep me going. It's not something that I'm going to be doing on my own, so that's hopefully going to keep me going as well. But yeah, I was just looking around, and I found this company that run these events. They also do an Atlantic Coast one in the later on in the year. But yeah, and it's a part of the country that I really like as well.
Yeah.
So
you might not like it so much.
I might not like it so much. No,
You've done 3 marathons there and never go back there again. All right. So if people want to donate or find out more about the Brain and Spine Foundation, what do they do?
Okay, I've got my own Just Giving page,
yes.
Which is justgiving.com/Crazy Roadrunner 2013.
Yeah, Crazy Roadrunner.
And then 2013.
Okay, 2013, 2013.
Or they can donate directly to the Brain and Spine Foundation. The Brain and Spine Foundation's website is brainandspine.org.uk.
Okay, and they do great work. You've had a lot of support.
They
from
do,
them.
yeah, they do. They provide over 30 booklets on a range of conditions, and they actually have a helpline. And I'll read the helpline number out. It's 0808 808 1000, and that's staffed by neurosurgery sort of nurses down there who can provide the support and information for people who are diagnosed with conditions. Yeah, I mean, 1 in 4 people in the UK are going to have some sort of a neurological condition at some point in their life.
Blimey. All right, Stuart, the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Do let us know here at BBC Coventry and Warwickshire how it goes.
I will.
We shall keep everything crossed. It's, 3 weeks today?
Well, 3 weeks today. I will be part way through the second one, hopefully.
Oh, fingers crossed. Everything goes really well for you. I'm sure it's going to be fine.